What small thing brightens your day? I can't see my dad a lot anymore, but he makes sure to send me an updated picture of his garden almost every day. You could make a time lapse of that with the pictures you've been sent. That's a great idea, then send it to him. He would love that. When my cats sleep next to me, they always make sure that they touch me with their toe beans. If I slightly move, they readjust until they touch me again. Love it. My girl cat does this once it starts getting cold out. She uses me as her personal hot water bottle, and I love it. Same here. My girl is a thermal parasite. Rediscovering the songs I used to listen to and either relive the memories or replace them. It's so nostalgic to hear old songs and experience old memories. But then you realize that the more you continue to listen to that song and experience those memories, the old ones go away and are replaced with new memories of you listening to it now. Makes you not want to listen to any old songs for fear of tampering with the precious memories. My guinea pig Ali. His cuteness and popcorning will always make me happy. Is popcorning the sound guinea pigs make? If so, I had no idea there was a name for it. No, that's called weaking. Popcorning is a unique behavior. It means your guinea pig is really happy and they show by hopping around their cage crazily. It looks like a corn seed popping, so that's why it's called popcorning. My husband makes it a habit to send at least one cute animal picture to me a day. It's been years and I don't think he's ever doubled up. If I've seen it before from some other source, I get another 2 or 3 to make up for seeing one already. It's often frog related. Today was 3 white tree frogs being cute in a frog bowl. Yesterday was a bearded dragon getting excited over blueberries. Love this. That's dedication. It's his way of showing he's thinking of me. It's adorable. Relationship goals. Seriously, it sounds like you are both very lucky. When you let someone in while driving and they wave at you. One time I cut someone off bad. I'm usually pretty good at being aware of other cars, so I felt like an asshole for cutting this person off. When they went by I waved and expected the finger in reply and he gave me a peace sign. It made me feel better and now I like to do that. If someone cuts me off, I really try to throw the peace sign when this happens. Doesn't always happen, but I typically don't flip people off anymore because I know someone that's been shot and killed over that shit. Stupid way to die. In my neighborhood every day, when I come back from the gym at 6:01 am there are a trail of quails, and every morning I stop so they can safely pass the road. If they aren't there I get kind of sad. I like seeing my quails and knowing they got to their destination safely. Life is really kind of shitty right now. My wife and I try to sit on our back deck after work each day and share a beer. There is a pair of Mississippi kites that have nested in the woods near our house, and they sometimes circle over the house, giving little calls. For some reason, I interpret this as a good sign, a little sign of hope. It helps me get through another shitty day. Our birds make us feel better. My dog loves laying on my feet. Just mine, not my parents or siblings. My heart sings whenever he does it cause it's clearly a sign of affection he reserves for me. My dog stares at me and no one else. If he's sitting somewhere other than next to me, he will be staring at me. If he's sitting with someone else he will be staring at me. My boy would do this if he was around new people and he was uncomfortable. He would just stare at me with this look on his face and I could tell he just wanted me to pick him up and rescue him. A joke I've never heard before. A creative compliment I've never heard before. Just something different makes the day more interesting. The tiniest difference makes a big difference. I have bright pink hair, and one day at work I was wearing it in a high curly ponytail. A man came up to me and said, "I love your hair. I hope this doesn't come off as weird, but you look like Pinkie Pie." And I love it. My daughter and I watch My Little Pony together and that's her favorite pony. She'd love your hair too. That compliment has stuck with me because that was the last kind of person I'd expect to get that compliment from. It was very sweet and I think about it pretty often. When you go to open a jar and don't need help. For me there's nothing quite like helping get something open. I once walked into a class in high school and everyone had gathered around the center of the room. So I investigated and this girl's water bottle had somehow gotten cinched up crazy tight. and all the guys were taking turns trying to open it. My plan was to pop it open and make it look easy, which admittedly I didn't. But I did get that thing open, and the fact that I was the only one in the room who could made me feel like King Arthur with Excalibur. When you can tell someone is genuinely happy to see you, or genuinely sad to see you go, those are true friends. He comes up close and looks my way. There's nothing much we need to say. There's nothing much we need to do. A 1 and 1's a perfect 2. He comes up close and lingers near. There's nothing much I need to hear. There's nothing much I need to share. A 1 and 1's a perfect pair. He comes up close and looks to me. The fairest, finest sight to see. A second stop to stare above. He wags his tail. It must be love. I've got one of those little picnic table shaped squirrel feeders attached to the fence around our backyard. Every morning I put a fresh cob of squirrel corn on it and watch the little dudes and dudettes come feast on it. I'd do this, but my area has got crows and crows don't care about manners at the table. Crows are awesome, though. Super smart. And they remember you if you feed them regularly or if you're ready to them and treat you accordingly, bringing you found shiny things or harassing you respectively. You could have your very own murder of friends. There was that redditor who fed the crows when he took smoke breaks on his porch. When he moved away, he visited his old place and found empty cigarette cartons everywhere. The crows associated them with him and were trying to lure him back with gifts. Smiles. When people smile at me, one of the downsides of wearing a mask is that I can't smile at people. Walking into a shop and giving a big smile to the cashier or other people in the shop makes me happy. Your smile extends to your eyes. People still see it if they're looking at you. The smile of others, especially if I caused it. This, 8 years ago, in New York City, I'm with my family sitting at a coffee place in the lounge. My parents are talking amongst themselves, so I'm zoning out and scanning the room. Out of the corner of my eye I spot an Asian man obviously waiting for his wife and he's rocking in his chair with drink in hand. All of a sudden he tilts too far back and starts to go backward, but he suddenly catches himself and almost drops his drink, but not before stopping the chair from slamming to the ground, so it was silent. He looks around and catches me smiling. He instantly replies with the biggest grin while toasting his drink in a rare manner. I still think about that scene. So wholesome. When I accidentally wake up too early and see the sun starting to come out, I go back to sleep after, but I like to think I fall back asleep with a slight smile on my face. Or waking up, but staying in the edge of sleep while it's raining outside. Then getting to lie in bed and doze off again while listening to the pitter-patter of the rain. I'm not a native English speaker and this is the first time I came across pitter-patter of the rain, and that is genuinely an awesome phrase. I can almost hear the rain in my head now. Friendly small talk with strangers. It gives me hope for humanity. Yes, I miss that. I haven't had any random conversations with strangers since the world changed. Did the Fire Nation attack? I have a scar on my right arm. While I was in high school, I pushed myself too far physically and mentally. I studied day and night just so I can get a high rank in class, which was very important to me back then. Once didn't get enough sleep for a week, and on my daily commute I was so tired I fell off the vehicle I was riding. Gave me only a scar on my right arm. I'm not entirely sure how, but since then I always wake up and look at that scar and remind myself that I should be happy, whatever results I get in my life. Since then, my days have been brighter than usual. Strange how life has its ways of reminding us about what's important. Glad you're finding some happiness. I learned this from visiting a buddy. Learn the names of the people who you routinely visit, i.e., gas station employees or grocery store clerks. Whatever. Learn a little about them. Ask them about their day. Call them by name. It just feels good to make people feel appreciated, I guess. I should add, don't pry. I can vouch for this. I work at Starbucks, and I remember this one customer's name once that came in 2 to 3 times over the span of 2 months. I later learned that she was an immigrant and everyone has such a hard time learning her name that when I said your name is, right, she was so touched. and I was touched because I didn't realize the effect that learning someone's name had on people's lives. My kid experiencing her firsts and getting so overwhelmed by it. Yesterday she experienced a ladybug crawling on her hand for the first time and her genuine happiness was infectious. She kept going back to the same spot in the garden looking for it, calling out, "Hey-oh, bug," looking for it under every leaf. My grandpa suffered from severe Alzheimer's disease. He had many bad days, but was generally a happy man. He was fortunate enough that he found so much wonder in the world for a second time around in his old age. He would be surprised and shocked with every sneeze, and would laugh at how ridiculous it was afterwards. This comment just reminded me of how great it was to see him happy at all the little things, while we were fussing over the big stuff. Thanks for making me smile today.